And with that, the 2024 season comes to an end.
Wait! I still have one more video to upload before 2024 becomes 2025. And what did I think that video should be? Well, but make him cute. And more mimicky. And also out of a monster can? So getting rid of last week's video because nobody cared about that. Start with aforementioned monster can. I spent a very long time umming and ahhing which side of the can I actually wanted to cut open, but then I realized the entire thing's going to be covered in fur anyway, and it doesn't actually matter. Now, if there's one video of mine that you actually want to recreate, don't let it be this specific part. Honestly, this whole part just kind of gives me PTSD. The fact that I didn't cut myself on this can is a miracle. So we're just gonna fast forward for health and safety reasons because the cherry on the cake was, I cut the can up so much it was kind of unusable and I had to start again anyway. So with a fresh can and pretending like I'm absolutely perfect, we can start the unmonstering process. Also, congrats if you're still watching, you've officially made it past the 1 minute mark, which means you've officially watched more than 90% of the people who watch my videos. Look, I really hate this voiceover as well, but please stick with me because I actually did a cool thing, and I kinda want to show the world what I did. So step 2 after step 1 being cutting the can open, was to fill the can with some tinfoil to be able to give me a surface to sculpt on. I attached the tinfoil just by using some hot glue, and attached it to every inner surface. Apparently, at some point my camera fell down, and we're gonna pretend like this isn't the second time in a video I've messed up, and we're just gonna skip to the part where everything's done and you totally saw the entire process and everything's fine. Once I finished creating the main bulk, I then went in with a second layer of tinfoil to create a smooth surface for the clay to stick to. This is achieved by once again using the enthralling process of hot gluing some tinfoil to itself. Jump scare! Hee hee, it's clay time. Now what some of you probably don't know is that with 90% of my projects is that it generally entails doing the same thing for about 3 hours at a time, and then I have to cut that into a 30-second clip that I have 10 seconds of instruction for. I think I genuinely watched 8 episodes of Grey's Anatomy in the time it took me just to smooth clay over the tinfoil. And that's all the instruction I have. Smooth clay over tinfoil. How am I supposed to make a YouTube video from this? How is this good content? However, getting it nice and smooth was satisfying as hell. Once my can was looking very Demogorgon-ish, it was time to add the tongue. I decided to make the tongue out of foam clay, partly because I ran out of air dry clay, but also partly because turns out foam clay is flexible as hell, air dry clay, not so much. Once I was happy with the position of the tongue, I left that to set and added the teefies that I had made earlier. So once everything was nice and set and stuck in its place, I realized I made a massive mistake because now I couldn't paint behind the tongue. So I spent approximately my entire life trying to jam a paintbrush behind the tongue to be able to paint the inside of the mouth. I started with a dark brown red color and worked my way up to a nice vibrant red when I got to the edges, ensuring a nice smooth transition between the two colors to show that it's meant to be a shadow to be able to give the mouth some depth. Okay, we've already used this sound effect once, but doesn't it look pretty? Next, to fix my mistakes and keep the appearance that I'm perfect, because obviously we all know I am, I went back over with a bone white on every single tooth. I believe that's what we call irony, but anyway. I also added some shine spots to the tongue because even though I wanted to cover it in resin, I wanted to really sell that cartoony glossy effect. Wow. Just using some super glue, I then added on the horns, which only now I realize kind of look like poop. But it's too late now and they're already stuck on and I'm not redoing it. The final step is the bane of my goddamn existence, it always has been and always will be. Gluing fur. I don't know if you personally have ever worked with fur, but no matter what any seamstress says or no matter what any crafter says is a great way to cut fur, great way to glue fur, oh I play with fur all the time and it never sheds for me. Bull! I just attached it using hot glue, making sure I had to fold over those edges to make sure that the fabric wouldn't continue to fray. I also took care to add glue to the back of the can to make sure that all of the fabric was sitting nice and snug. I was originally going to dirty up all the fur because Krampus isn't exactly known for his pristine white fluffy coat. However, look at him, he's just a little guy. Which essentially concludes this, I guess, tutorial, and puts us to the glamour shots.